Concept to cup, creating analog coffee. With Russ Prefontaine on the Culture Hack, we talked about Fratello Coffee and his struggles and how they actually had to create their own storefront so they could be in control of their own story. It's really cool. Check it out. Russ Prefontaine, welcome to the Culture Hack. Thanks so much for coming.
Thank you, Adam.
If you missed before, we talked about specialty coffee. We talked about how your parents started the company originally in the 70s and what they had to do and how they had to evolve. And then we got into how you had to rebrand to Fratello, which is a crazy story on its own. And then now you're faced with this challenge of, as a wholesaler, wanting to sell your coffee to other stores and have them sell your brand and speak about your brand and the experience in the way that you want and the challenges around that.
Yeah, growing a brand and launching a brand to end users through a third party is very challenging. Starting a brand in general is very challenging, but hoping that the messaging agrees with you through a third party is even harder, in my opinion. Especially with something with coffee where it's so finicky, there's so many variables to do it well. So that was the start of Analog Coffee, was how do we do this well? How do we show our customers and coffee drinkers that Fratello Coffee is like legit? Like the things we're talking about and trying to teach are real. We do know what we're saying. And we thought the best way was to do it ourselves. And we started in the Calgary Farmers Market, started a little cafe there just to see if we would like it. And we loved it. We also learned how challenging it is.
Yes, you tested it, right?
It's really hard. Right? I didn't want to do 7 days a week like a full cafe. Let's just do a little one. And it was so busy. It resonated so well with the community. We couldn't believe it. But it was so exciting. It was so much fun to have a voice directly to the customer.
Yeah, I can hear it. I can hear it in your voice.
We would hire new people and we'd say, this is a theater, right? This is a stage. We wouldn't talk about it like a cafe. We were presenting. And everything we did, we wanted to add theater to it, whether it was the way we were steaming or pouring, doing pour overs, and the way we'd hand it out, or even the music we would have, it was animated. We wanted to do it different, to do it better than what was commonly found. Now, there were some great cafes already at this time, don't get me wrong. It's not like we invented it, but we really wanted to do it well. And to do it well meant, for us, hospitality. So it was more than just really great coffee. It was really great customer service, really great hospitality when people are entering, right? The way that we're interacting with them. And at this time, coffee was kind of stuffy. It was this elite, right? So people hated it. They wouldn't go to these third wave cafes because they were so elite. So we're like, we're talking coffee here. This is a delicious, fun beverage. Let's have some fun with it, right? Everyone's welcome. And I think that's what really made us stand out in Calgary compared to our competitors was that friendliness.
Interesting. Yeah. So people can now go there and not feel intimidated.
That's right.
By their order. They can go and they'll know they'll be greeted. They'll know that they will feel warm and welcome.
And I think it's part because if we're having fun, it's contagious.
Right?
Right, it's contagious. If we're laughing and music and upbeat and doing things that are cool, it caught on very, very quickly. People wanted to hang out there.
Right.
The second location was 17th Avenue. That was a big step for us. That corner was revitalized when we opened. It was kind of a dead corner of 17th Avenue, and now it became the hub. It was the centerpiece, and it was a gathering point. It was where people started and ended their evenings, was Analog Coffee. And that's what really put the flag in the pole for us, saying we're here. And it brought new challenges, right? A much larger team, much more hours and days of operation. So we knew that we had to very quickly start systematize what we were doing. We had to create proper processes and training protocol and hiring protocol and remove myself and my brother Chris from the operations. If we were going to be involved, we knew that we'd be the stumbling block.
Right.
So we had to remove ourselves and put a team in place who could take ownership of that spot. So we would give them proper restrictions and guidelines to help them do what we were hoping for them to achieve, proper KPIs in place to ensure what they were managing were the right details. But we knew if we could do that, then we could actually have something that was scalable. Took about 10 years to really do that well, to really do it well.
I guess you kind of have to grow it, right?
That's right.
You can
have
write
to
all
test
this
it.
stuff down.
That's
and,
exactly
here's your
right.
manual.
Yeah,
But
until you're doing it, then it takes more and more refining.
Right.
So it was location 5, I think, where it was really fine-tuned, where these cafes were really starting to hum. The brand was very well known in the city, one of the most well-known brands in Calgary, I would say, and bigger than Fratello. So the brand itself had outgrown Fratello Coffee, which was interesting. We originally started Analog to help propel Fratello,
Right.
but
And
it outgrew
actually
it. Yeah,
passed
it outgrew it. And a lot of that was the teams we had in place, just incredible team members and managers and district managers who really grew that brand well. And it was...
Because you talked about, you created Analog so that you could be in control of your own story and your own experience.
That's right.
But then you and your brothers can't be in the store all the time.
No.
Like, crafting that.
No,
right?
that's right.
It's like 1,000 little touches to make it a stage.
So the story couldn't be about us.
Right.
The story was about our team. The story was about the customers. The story was about the producers. So everything we tried to introduce and talk about was them, right? So if we can engage them and put the story of Analog on the customers, they got excited about it. It was about them. They could resonate with it. It was easy for them to want to be there in a brand and a location that was built for them.
Right.
Right.
So you said location 5 is kind of where you felt it really sort of came together. What was it about that location? Like what told you that you were
I think when you get to a certain level of sales and locations, you can start affording better team members. So having different levels of management in place to take care of different details throughout the day. So the more removed we could get would mean we'd have to replace that management with other people. So as we got to level 5, we could bring in people with experience who have been doing retail a lot longer than we have, with a lot more stores than we have, and really relying on them to teach us how to take it to the next level and how to build a program that could expand throughout Western Canada was our goal.
Right. I love that. So you sort of empowered them to kind of make it their own and help grow it.
Empower them and surround yourself with great people.
Right?
Surround yourself with people that are better and smarter than you, and give them the ability to do what they do well. Right? Trust them and manage them, obviously, but to learn from them and create something together.
Okay. So how many Analog locations are there now?
Well, we grew it to 6.
Okay.
We sadly ended up selling that whole division, the whole Brandon division, during COVID. That was a rough time for everybody, obviously. But we decided at that time the best thing for us to do was to release that brand to someone who could really take it and run. So there is a group in Calgary who purchased that from us. Luckily, we're still a partner of theirs. We do all the roasting and sourcing and consulting with them. So I still believe it to be ours. Right? When I walk into them, it still feels like ours. They've done a good job maintaining it. But they've grown it to 13 now. And they have one in Vancouver and one in Kelowna. And I know they've got a lot of exciting things on the horizon with that brand.
That's amazing. Well, I mean, sometimes as a business owner, you recognize that you can have this greater impact if you give it away or give a piece of it away, right? Or
that's right.
It can be really, really hard. Right?
Yeah, that's right. It is hard. It was our baby. We started it, and it would have been hard if they weren't still doing such a great job with it today.
Right.
But seeing it excel makes me very proud. Very proud.
It's such an interesting story. So, last question. Next time I'm in Analog, what should I watch for that were some of the little details that you paid attention to and wanted to make sure that people experience when they walk in?
What I would hope for is a smile. Right?
Okay.
If you walk in the door and someone looks up at you and gives you a little smile and acknowledges you're there, I would say they're still doing a good job focusing on that hospitality.
Okay. Hospitality first. I love that. Well, thank you so much, Russ. I really appreciate you telling your story. If somebody wants to learn more about Fratello, what's the best way for them to get a hold of you?
Best way would be through our website, fratellocoffee.com. On there is all of our social feeds as well at the bottom, which would be Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and LinkedIn.
Okay, fantastic. And next time, we're going to talk about what is new and exciting, what's coming up in the future for Fratello. I'm really interested to hear, so can't wait.